art, dramatic play, music, storytelling. A variety of people are trained to enter these elements into a child's life. Each of those people play a vital role in that child's development. Part of a child's development is also about seemingly simple things. Having a conversation, getting dressed, working cooperatively, drinking from a cup. The academic and social skills learned in childhood and adolescence set the foundation for life and for lifelong learning. What is it like working with children every day? The easy answer is that every day is different. Working with children brings many people a feeling of making a real difference in someone's life and future. In this program, we learn about some of those people and see the stories of their careers in child development. We meet two teachers, one who educates students each day according to a school's goals, and one who instructs children in an after-school program. Outside of the classroom, we see a social worker. She helps children and their families to achieve social and emotional goals. We also observe a developmental therapist who strives to assist children in many settings with specific skill sets like motor or language skills. All of these child development specialists are charged with guiding each child to reach his or her potential. What education, skills, and experience do these specialists need to enter and succeed in their fields? Who do they work with? What is their career path? And most importantly, just what do they do every day? Each day, teachers are charged with helping children to expand their knowledge, their social skills, and their love of learning. Teachers work in public schools, charter schools, daycare corporations, nonprofits, and businesses that offer childcare programs. No matter what the setting, teachers educate students during their formative years. They help kids to prepare for life. Kelly Lopez works in an elementary school that has children from kindergarten through 5th grade. She is a 4th grade teacher at York Center School in Lombard, Illinois. Kelly's job is to create daily lesson plans, then use those plans to develop the talents and skills of each of her 4th graders, individually and as a group.
Our job is really to get those kids to, first of all, love school and to love learning, but also to give them the knowledge and the tools that they need to be successful members of society.
Good teachers are adaptive in order to address unique learning styles. Some students learn better by reading. Some need to see a concept illustrated with images. Others need to hear an idea explained to them many different ways.
And you have to be very flexible with students and being able to express to them that even though student A over here is doodling and you're not, it's still okay. You both have different learning styles.
Using a lot of different approaches means taking risks. Sometimes those approaches work. Sometimes teachers have to be open to hearing and heeding the advice of their peers and supervisors.
Not everybody has every different skill, and sometimes you do go to your colleagues and say, you know, I have this student, can you tell me what you think? You have to be okay with getting outside opinions and taking criticism, because part of your job is to be evaluated by your principal, and so you have to be able to take criticism and not take it personally, but take it and become a better teacher because of it.
Kelly works with a team of professionals who devise strategies and plans for supporting children with special needs.
We have a very good support team. We have our special ed resource teacher, we have a social worker, we have the occupational therapist, the physical therapist, we also have a speech teacher and a psychologist, a school psychologist, that we work all together to develop education plans for the students.
Each of these team members specializes in a different area of education. A speech therapist, for example, helps students develop their articulation or speaking patterns. Kelly has a specialty too. She helps students who speak another language to learn English as part of their coursework.
I'm an English as a second language teacher. We actually have our bilingual ESL team also that will work together on different things.
Even though teachers must be flexible and adaptable, their ability to create and stick to a plan is equally important to their success.
Every week is very different. I will start off with a plan. I do a 5-day plan. I have goals set, what I want the children to learn.
Ask any teacher. The best part of teaching is that moment when a struggling student shows that he or she understands what you are teaching, when they have made a connection.
My biggest reward is that aha moment, when a kid who just couldn't get it or they really struggled with something, all of a sudden that light bulb goes off and they're like, oh, I get it. And it might be that you've taught them 50 different ways and it was that 51st time they finally got it. This is my favorite part about being a teacher.
Teachers generally have to have a college degree specially geared for teaching either elementary school, high school, or early childhood. While you're in high school, you can choose from a wide range of core courses, such as math, science, and history. Since teachers spend most of their days communicating, speech and English courses are recommended. These classes provide a solid foundation for future college coursework. And when you think about it, teachers are expected to know a bit of just about everything. Subject-specific college coursework can be valuable as well if you're interested in teaching a particular subject, such as teaching history or English as a second language.
If you end up as a high school teacher, you're going to need a lot more classes in a specific area, either English or math or science.
And most classroom teachers must receive certification from their state government before they may begin teaching. To become certified as a teacher, part of your college coursework will include student teaching, getting practical classroom teaching experience as a sort of teacher's aide. But to gain hands-on skills even earlier, you can assist in a classroom or at a summer camp. And just like their students, teachers are always going to school. Continuing education is a critical part of a teacher's career and success in the classroom.
Continuing ed is huge in education for many, many different reasons. Our pay scale is set up by years of experience and educational level. The reality is in the 15 years I've been teaching, everything changes. You know, you will do either workshops, you might do actual coursework, you could do video courses. There's just unlimited ways in which you can get further education.
Most teaching jobs share similar requirements: a college degree, state certification, continuing education, organizational skills. That means not only daytime teachers, but after-school teachers as well. Many working parents consider after-school programs essential to their children's safety and development. In fact, 1 in 10 U.S. children from kindergarten to 12th grade are in after-school programs. After-school programs provide a place for students to get extra help with academics, participate in special activities, and most importantly, be safe while their parents are at work. Consequently, teaching in an after-school program requires many of the same daily tasks as a daytime teaching position. Lesson planning, adaptability, and guiding children's academic growth and social skills. Brett Ettenhofer is an after-school teacher at KidWatch Plus in Chicago. Brett provides the structure for 18 children from the time they leave school until they go home. He leads his students in academic, athletic, and arts projects.
Biggest thing that I had to come to terms with was their emotional development. It's just you have to be very careful with their feelings. There are a lot of times when a child will get upset enough to cry over something like a board game, and you'll have to just sit down and talk to them about it, talk them through it.
Brett develops lesson plans to maintain a structure for the children every day. He teaches them how to work cooperatively with each other. Communication and critical thinking skills are just as important for Brett as an after-school teacher.
You need to be able to communicate with the students, with the parents, and with the other teachers. You need time management skills. You need problem solving. You need to be able to think on your feet. If something isn't working, you need to be able to switch it.
Kelly and Brett's work as elementary and after-school teachers are just two career options in education. There are many others. Here are just a few. Administrators, such as principals or assistant principals, run the operation of a school, including budgeting, hiring teachers, and communicating with the district and school board. Many teachers seek administrative degrees in order to become principals or assistant principals. Camp counselors often work for schools during the summer or at nature centers. They organize and direct outdoor activities for kids when school is not in session. Experience working in a community center, recreation facility, or summer camp also builds useful skills for other teaching jobs. Preschool teachers work in a daycare facility, community center, elementary school, or preschool. They teach and care for 3- and 4-year-olds. High school teachers teach grades 9 through 12. They usually have developed interests and knowledge in specific areas, such as English or world history, in order to teach in-depth coursework in those subjects. Let's review what we learned in this chapter. A teacher introduces children to academic work and helps them acquire social skills. Teachers help students during their formative years to prepare for future success. Teachers can work in many settings, such as public school or after-school programs. To become a teacher, focus on core courses in high school. That means math, science, history, and English coursework. In college, you can choose to obtain a degree in elementary education, early childhood education, or secondary education. An after-school teacher guides the early education of children outside of a regular school day. He creates academic, athletic, and arts activities to develop their minds and bodies. After-school teachers also play a big role in the emotional and social development of children. To develop these skills, focus on math, art, and science courses, as well as speech and English. Most teacher and after-school teacher positions require state certification. Other careers in the area of education include administrators, camp counselors, preschool teachers, and high school teachers. Teaching isn't the only career that provides an opportunity to provide guidance to children at school. Social work is both a service and a science. It's a profession where social theory and research methods are used to solve problems. And it's a profession that aims to enhance the quality of life for people in need. In this chapter, we explore the work of social workers who provide services and assistance in a school environment. We review the skills and education needed to work in this field. And we look at the different places that a social worker performs her job. Meet Julie Ekman, a social worker in Downers Grove, Illinois. Julie helps develop individualized education plans, which outline customized teaching programs for children with special needs.
Students who are struggling academically, or maybe they have a vision impairment or a physical impairment, students who have either social, emotional, or behavioral issues that impact their ability to learn within the school environment. My focus here is really to help students be educationally and academically successful.
Every day brings a different set of challenges for Julie as her students face their own academic, social, and family struggles. And just like the teachers, she must be flexible and adaptive and a good problem solver to find the approach that best suits each student's need.
My principal, my assistant principal, and then I also work with all of the specialists in the support services area, so that would be my 2 counselors, a psychologist, and we have a reading specialist as well. Then outside of the building, in my district, there are 6 or 7 other social workers, and I work with all of the other community resources that my families work with.
Social work requires a unique set of personal skills. To help others manage difficult emotional and family issues, a social worker must be delicate, sensitive, and considerate.
I am always very respectful of where an individual is at. And I always allow the students to let me know, Ms. Ekman, I'm not wanting to talk about that, and I give them permission at any point, if we're going in a place where they're not comfortable, to let me know.
Julie finds her work is very rewarding, but she tells future social workers that the road to success with each client may not be easy. Being able to recognize your own successes, no matter how small, is an important survival skill for those seeking to enter the field.
I think we change the world one person and one moment at a time. We do that through the strengths of the people that we're working with, or really being able to help somebody do something a little bit differently than they had done before, and finding some happiness and some peace in that, I think is phenomenal.
While in high school, aspiring social workers can take English, communications, and psychology courses. Babysitting or working in a daycare facility can provide valuable experience and a sense of what it's like to work with children. Volunteering to work with children with special needs provides practical understanding as well. At the college level, students can get a bachelor's degree in social work. Most social workers must also obtain a license from the state they work in. That requires lots of hands-on time with clients under the supervision of more senior social workers.
I am a licensed clinical social worker, and for that you have to be observed by another social worker who is an LCSW for 2 years, and you have to document those hours of observation. And they have to observe you working with clients. And there's also a standardized test that you take at the end of the time that you've done your 2 years of observation.
Social workers can work in a school environment or as part of a private counseling practice, in hospitals, or at mental health facilities. They may help individuals, families, or couples.
The biggest reward for me is when I will get to see a student really make a lot of progress.
There are many career options related to social work and child development. School psychologists conduct parenting workshops, counsel teachers and parents, and assess students with special needs. Guidance counselors help students deal with personal stress, peer pressure, bullying, family problems, and emotional issues. They help students meet schoolwork challenges and evaluate their academic options for the future. Foster care social workers create and implement treatment and permanency plans for children and their foster care families. They also provide clinical input to ensure the most appropriate care is offered to each child. Let's review what we learned in this chapter. A social worker in a school setting provides services and assistance to help improve the lives of children and their families. To develop skills for this field, students can focus on English, communications, and psychology courses in high school. Babysitting, working in a daycare facility, or volunteering to help children with special needs can provide valuable experience. At the college level, students can obtain a bachelor's degree in social work. Most social workers must also obtain a license from the state they work in. Other careers in the area of social work and child development include school psychologists, guidance counselors, and foster care social workers. Now let's move from the generalized approach of social work to a profession that focuses on improving a child's very specific skills. Most of us probably don't even remember when we learned to do many of our most basic everyday tasks. Putting on shoes after our socks, using a fork and knife, having a conversation. For some children, however, learning these skills is anything but simple. Working with a developmental therapist can be crucial to their becoming a functional, independent person. Wanda Bryant is a developmental therapist at Vital Rehabilitation in Chicago.
I always wanted to work with children, and I always felt like some of the behavior had a meaning, and I just wanted to make a difference. I knew whatever I did, it had to deal with children.
Wanda works with children as young as 18 months old, helping them to acquire specific skills, such as physical movement and coordination.
Start therapy at 8 o'clock. I do individual therapy. On Tuesdays, I do group. I have play groups. They have the parents come in and we do hands-on activities with the children.
In addition to helping children develop motor skills and learn the tasks of everyday living, Wanda also teaches them social skills. She observes children and their behavior and tries to help them function better in school and other settings.
And I help them in whatever developmental area the child may need help. Most of the children come to play group because they have issues with just interacting with other adults, other children, sharing their space.
When children begin to distinguish good behavior from bad, parents and family are their first teachers. If the family needs help with this, developmental therapists like Wanda have special training and skills to identify a behavior and help manage it in school or at home.
Even from working with the children in the preschool, like a little boy that I had, he just was real active. He would run around the room and throw things. And I would just do little simple things like sit him on a rug, have him tear paper. I just learned that just doing things to help calm him down, work with his sensory issues, different issues, it made a difference.
To be a developmental therapist requires a sensitive personality, in-depth knowledge of child development, and specific skills in working with children. Wanda attended Erickson Institute, a graduate school in Chicago that specializes in child development.
And just from my education at Erickson, I learned so much about children, about context, about the family systems, about just what triggers different behaviors, how children learn. And I just really got interested in that.
All of Wanda's work starts with what a child is capable of doing. She builds their skills from there, teaching them how to function to the best of their ability. She works closely with parents to help guide their child's development.
I had one little boy, he wouldn't play with anything but cars. And the mom was like, he will not stop playing with the cars. How can I get him to stop? And I brought a box of different color cars. We were working with colors, with him learning his colors. So I guess you figured ways to build up on something he liked, but at the same time I was still teaching him skills.
Wanda's communication skills are essential to her success as a therapist. She must communicate her ideas and expectations to a multitude of children with differing personalities and levels of understanding. She must communicate effectively with their parents as well. Patience, perseverance, and understanding of what makes people tick are crucial personality traits for therapists working with children and their parents.
You get frustrated because you want to see improvement. You want the parents, you want to make them happy. And sometimes I get frustrated because I guess they don't see what I see developmentally, see that it's not that bad, let's just work with where he's at. We can't move him up in development. The child is 2 and he's performing at an 18-month level, then we have to start at 18 months.
Classes in psychology and science will help you understand the developmental stages and behaviors of children. Classes in child development are key too, of course. Most developmental therapists have a degree in education or child development. A master's degree in occupational therapy or special education is often required. For Wanda, furthering her education allowed her to expand her understanding of child development.
I took classes in assessment, culture, language development, physical growth and development. There's a lot of courses that really gave me a bigger picture on what was going on in child development.
In working with community groups, Wanda finds rewarding work by teaching families how to embrace and succeed in their role as educators of their children. Careers related to a developmental therapist include pediatric physical therapists who help infants and children with special needs, such as developmental delays or chronic physical conditions, to improve their gross and fine motor skills, balance and coordination, strength and endurance, as well as cognitive and sensory processing and integration. Audiologists identify and evaluate children with hearing loss and refer them for medical testing. They also provide auditory training, oral rehabilitation, speech reading, and listening device orientation. Let's review what we learned about developmental therapists. A developmental therapist teaches children physical skills, such as motor skills. The therapist works with children individually and in groups, and with their parents and family as well. Courses in psychology, science, and child development provide a strong foundation for understanding children's developmental stages. A college degree in child development or education is required. In some cases, a master's degree in occupational therapy or special education is also needed. Other careers related to developmental therapy include pediatric physical therapists and audiologists. Careers in the field of child development offer many opportunities to help young people to reach their potential. Teachers introduce children to academic work and help them grow socially. They help students prepare for adulthood. High school math, science, history, and English coursework build valuable knowledge for teaching. Experience assisting in a classroom is helpful for working in a school environment. A college degree in education is required. A master's degree can help you build a successful career and develop a specialty. After-school teachers provide structure and a safe place for students after their regular school day. They coordinate activities and also play a big role in children's social and emotional development. To develop these skills, focus on English, math, and science courses in high school. Experience working in a community center, recreation facility, or summer camp builds suitable skills for this career. A college degree in education is required from an approved teacher education program. State certification is also necessary to work in a number of different settings. Other careers in the area of education include administrators, camp counselors, preschool teachers, and high school teachers. Social workers provide services to improve the lives of children and their families. High school courses in communication, English, and psychology build strong skills useful for this career. Working as a babysitter or in a daycare facility provides valuable experience. A bachelor's degree in social work is required. Most social workers are also required to obtain certification to be licensed with the state. Other careers related to social work include school psychologists, guidance counselors, and foster care social workers. Developmental therapists work to help children function better in their daily lives. Classes in science and psychology provide an understanding of the developmental stages of children. A degree in child development or education is required. In many cases, a master's degree in occupational therapy or special education is necessary. Other careers related to developmental therapy include pediatric physical therapists and audiologists. If you enjoy spending time with children and helping them to grow and learn, a career in child development may be a good fit for you. The best stories from our childhood are often about the people we met, perhaps a favorite teacher or care provider. These people work to better the education, well-being, and health of children. They provide a great public service to individuals, their families, and the entire community.